But most importantly, we talk about communication, and we really go over how each person communicates.
It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. Can you talk a little bit about your business model? Like, obviously, you and
Yes.
Dean are working together. She's in the Philippines. You're here. Is she doing like operational stuff? Like, that makes me assume the VAs are generally like located in the Philippines, and she's maybe doing the operational stuff, and you're doing the behind the scenes business stuff. But rather than me make random assumptions, how are you guys like set up for the workflow?
So it's kind of evolved over time, but first of all, I'll say that we are a VA matchmaker. We find the right person and match them to the client. Mm-hmm. So it's a process that we do. We are not an agency. We don't require a monthly fee from somebody. We have a one-time set fee. But what makes us really unique is that I've taken all of my service experience, and both as a business owner and as a technician, just thinking of all the things that come up on the business side, and put that into our training. So what I do is, or what we do, I should say, is we find when a client comes to us, they take a questionnaire, which goes over a lot of tasks that a VA can do, and they kind of grade them on a scale of 1 to 4 in terms of importance. Okay. And then they also do an HR thing. We go through a lot of HR questions because we don't want them to have to think about that after. We want, when we onboard a client in a VA, we want them to already know what the plan is, have all the details set, it's all agreed on, and we go over it in the meeting. Mm-hmm. We have them both take a DISC assessment, and we really try to find complementary personalities to work together. Okay. And once we've found all that information from the client, we start looking for the VA. But meanwhile, we've turned the client's list of tasks into a training sheet. And it basically tells them every video that they need to make for their VA to be trained. I have found, I don't know about you, that when I sit in a room with somebody and try to train them, usually I'm very busy, I'm overwhelmed, and I end up talking about a million things. Yeah, and
you're distracted, and then you're like, I just got this call because this technician's out there and doing this thing, and then I just wait right here, read this thing. I'll be right back. I gotta go deal with something.
2 hours. What should have taken a half hour takes 2 hours, just because you also see something, and I don't know, most people are, I'm ADD, and I'll be like, oh, and in this circumstance, you would do this thing. And that reminds me of
I just had this shiny object go off in my brain, and now I have to tell you about that immediately before I forget it, because I know if I don't tell you about it right now, it's gone, and I'll be pissed when I can't think of it. And therefore, what was I talking about again?
Exactly. That's the thing. So that's kind of what we really try to focus on, the main things, the urgent things that they want to have the VA trained on. And I give them a lot of the things that I used in my business. We try to make sure that they understand how LastPass works, that they understand how to pay their VAs. We give them a cultural guide that we're always trying to evolve so that they understand the culture of the Philippines. I think the best thing that we do in the process is we have an onboarding with the client in the VA, and we talk about the training plan. We talk about the job description, which is all the HR stuff that the client has worked out with us. But most importantly, we talk about communication, and we really go over how each person communicates and what works for them, what doesn't work for them. And I really try to open them up to the idea that they should talk about things that sometimes people don't talk about. Like, VAs are really shy a lot of the time. So I like to ask the question, is there anything else that, Dan should know about you that would help you to do your job better, or that works better for you? And that usually, having somebody there as like a guide for the conversation, kind of a mediator, really helps a lot. And
so you're finding the person that's like a good fit based on the disc of each person. So you're kind of like,
and it's not just the disc, it's the qualifications of what the person, they're looking for as well. But we are looking at the disc. Yeah.
You're the match.com of the business to the VA, and you find them and you say like, hey, you guys need to date. Is there like a dating period where you're the chaperone And then
So-
they get married after that, or like when do you pass the baton? When do you give the okay?
So I think that when it comes to training, we've tried it different ways. And what we've decided is that we should not be involved in the training part because it confuses everybody. And also I want to teach the business owner how to train the VA, because they're going to have to do it again in the future when they reach the next level of tasks that need to happen. So I'm trying to give them all of the information, coach them on how to do it beforehand, so that when they go on board, first of all, their VA will have all the software info that they need, all the training videos, because we'll find the general training videos for software. We have those on sheets, so that I always think a VA should be trained more than I am on the technology, so that I don't have to worry about anything with that.
Yeah, they know how to set up a client, they know how to charge a card, they know how to route a job and schedule the thing and do all the stuff in the CRM or the QuickBooks or whatever.
Solve the problems. That's the most important part, is that I don't want to be involved in solving the problems of technology.